Here's a common scenario that you may face as a competition coordinator or administrator. Here we're seeing that the divisions have not been matched to Sportsmate divisions. Now this draw is coming from a third-party provider, in this case MySideline. However, this can also occur just when there's a mismatch in configuration of the external drawer that you might be managing in, say, Excel, and you're doing a CSV import. As we can see, there's a common sort of configuration here. This is quite standard for drawers that are coming from MySideline, where there's kind of the association or competition name preceding the division name. Now, for Sportsmate, we have a mapping process that occurs when you do the import, and a lot of this is sort of a one-time setup and kind of almost forget about during the process of the season. So this is quite common at the start of a season, or if there are changes to divisions and other things throughout the season. Just because I've imported the draw, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And even in this case, we've actually done like appointments already off this draw. Just for context, so when we open up the import draw, we're going to see a couple of different options here in this particular competition, but this is what defines the configuration for this divisional mapping that I'm talking about. Now, to fix this problem, what I'm going to do is just actually go back to my competition config. These are the pre-existing competitions I've got, and the reason I know it's not working is because there's no color matching that's kind of happening here, and the shortening of division names. As long as your divisions are complete there, that should be okay. What I need to do is go to integration config. Now here I'm going to select the configuration I'm currently using. Key information here is that it actually has the classification set, so that's when we do our fixture scheduling, we will generally set different classifications for different types of competitions. So in this particular case, we're looking at junior night, and you'll notice as I scroll through this section, which is the playing division maps, they're all actually referencing, say, last year's configuration. So the simple thing here to do is to actually go, let's go remove all. I'm now just going to hit save on this because I want to make sure I've got the latest. I'm now going to come back to that section of divisional maps. I'm going to hit import. Now, I know there's a couple here that I don't need to worry about, like mini muddies, but right now I'm going to go, okay, 10 boys is 10 boys, 10 girls, 10G, 12 boys. So at this point, it's just really a case of mapping in this situation of the third-party service is MySideline. So I'm going to map the MySideline divisions or competitions as they are in that third-party product to the Sportsmate competitions. The benefit of this is we can shorten the names, we also get color coding, and also any specific like payment rules or any other sort of configuration, like if you've done match official profiling to certain divisions, that will certainly take effect here. Now if you reach a situation where you don't actually have a division kind of set up for this particular mapping. Like in this case here, we've actually got a situation where it seems like we've actually combined some of the divisions from what they used to be last year. You have the option of either just determining and saying, we're just going to still call this inside our Sportsmate drawer, the 16 girls comp, or I can go back to the competition config, add the missing division, save all this config first, go back to the competition config, add the missing division of 16/18 girls, and then come back here and do the mapping. Right now, I'm okay in my config, just kind of like, knowing that that's a combined division as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to hit save. Actually, you know what, for the sake of things, let's go do that. So I'm going to go to config. Let's go quickly down here. We're going to go find the 16 girls. We're now going to add one. Sorry, I scrolled too far. I'm going to add one real quick. That's 16. In this case, I don't really like using slashes, but we'll do 16-18. Again, we'll do 16-18 girls. And for the case of this, I am actually just going to reuse the colors. So I'm not too worried about this. So let's do that. Save this configuration. Now if I come back to my integration config, again go to juniors, and now I can come down here and I should have a 16-18 girls, and if I sorted the other list this would be in order, but 16-18 girls, that just helps there. So that means that, yeah, it's going to correctly reflect that. Okay, so now that I've got my mapping config correct, so let's go back to the actual match schedule. So how do you actually fix this on a match schedule retrospectively? And I want to say that you need to be a little careful about some of this timing. It's depending on your payment configuration rules and those sorts of things, you may or may not be comfortable doing this sort of after payments have been generated, because if you have payments that are based around the divisional names, you probably don't want to change things once payments have actually been done. So, but in this case, this is all competitions that are coming up, so I'm good to run this. So to easily change the divisional mappings, there's a button here quite easily. I can just go fix division mappings. The other option I have is that I could re-import the draw. So if let's just do this for the purpose of the demo. I'm going to go run this. It's going to pull the data in. Let's see what actually happens here. This should come back, and I should actually see in this information, it's probably going to take a couple of moments because it does have a bit of information to process, but we should see that it pulls back divisions that are now shortened, as we can see 10 boys. I scroll down, let's go right down. Oh, there's our 16-18 girls division that we've now created. So you can see the mappings are now working. Now, so I could just import this draw and we would get the new mappings. However, let's talk about how we actually retrospectively fix this. So rather than manually, say, adjusting them, so I do have that option. I click edit on a field. I can then manually change the division name. In this particular case, we know, because I just created it, it's 16-18 girls. Oh, look, the color coding matched. That's one option. The other option is that I can do this fixed division mappings. So if I hit this, it's basically going to tell me that, hey, like we're going to go through, we're going to try to remap everything, and then you need to review and save things. Well, look at that. Now we have actually color coding across all our divisions because we had the right mappings kind of set up. So the nice thing there, yeah, it makes it way easier to do appointments and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to save, and we're good to go. Now, we're not finished with these appointments where we are kind of in the week, we're not yet at Friday and that sort of thing. We're probably going to actually do a re-import of the draw, but it's nice to know that those divisional mappings are going to come across. Anyway, that's how you can correct the division mappings within your match schedule when coming from a third-party provider. And yeah, hopefully this video helps people. Thank you.